Hey guys, Shoham here. It's nice seeing you all again. So I have been meaning to make this video for quite a long time actually, because as many of you know, I enjoy reading comic books to the point where people have called me crazy because of my love for comic books. So I thought of showing you guys what are all the comic books that I currently have here in Kolkata. So just for a little bit of context, I still do. I work in a IT firm as a software engineer, and I used to work in Bangalore. That was my base location. And before this pandemic started, I was living in a rented flat there, and eventually I had to relocate to my home, and currently I'm working from here. So I have a couple of books and omnibuses over there as well. I'll talk about those as well. Maybe I'll put up a small picture of it or something in the post for this video. And let's just show you guys what are all the comic books that I have, and let's do it. This one, The Crisis on Infinite Earth by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. I'm currently reading this one. I'm almost done with it. So it's a 300 pager. It's pretty big and it's pretty ambitious. It's probably the most ambitious crossover event I have read so far, and this particular trade paperback is a very truncated versions. Like there are little blurbs in between the panels giving us context for certain characters and what happens to those characters later on, which I believe have been wrapped up in the respective tie-ins for all the characters here. Story is basically Marv Wolfman wrote this story to basically streamline the golden age and the silver age of DC Comics and tie up many of the loose ends and the time-based inaccuracies that there were in the comics. So all of those got wrapped up nicely in this book, and also it gave birth to two of the most pivotal characters in the DC canon, that is Monitor and Anti-Monitor. So it's a pretty fun read. It's not the best of the crossover events, though it's a very ambitious one, but still it's thoroughly out and out enjoyable. So this is this copy I had brought last year, and I pretty like it was a good buy. Like it was a pretty decent price. Amazon was giving it off on a very decent price, so I thought, oh, why don't I nab it? Okay, next one. The next one is Final Crisis by Grant Morrison. This is the Essential Edition, and it's also kind of takes place after the event of the death of the New Gods, where the Source World gets broken. So I haven't read this till now, but I have bought it, and I'm planning on reading it after I finish Crisis on Infinite Earths, or maybe after I finish Death of the New Gods that I have in digital in Comixology. So yeah, this is the second book. Third one is the Infinity Gauntlet by Jim Sterling, and the illustrator I believe is George Perez, George Perez and Ron Lim. So this is basically on this book the Marvel Studios had this was one of the book that put Thanos in the forefront in the entire Marvel lore. So what I'm trying to say is, like, Thanos had previous appearances and he was always described as a knockoff of Darkseid, but which he was essentially at the beginning. But this book basically put him on the map. So it's also like Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's highly ambitious. It's one of the most critically acclaimed Marvel books that Marvel has put out so far, and I had read it when I was a kid, so I always thought of owning a paperback version of this, and luckily I can now. So that's it, enough for this book. Spider-Verse. So this is a very special edition of Spider-Verse, because it also has it's kind of like a like the essential edition. Like it has the tie-ins, but not all the tie-ins. Like Age of the Spider-Verse is missing from this book, but it has the main 5 source book for the original Spider-Verse run, along with the tie-ins from Amazing Spider-Man and other Spider adjacent characters. Tie-ins are also part of this book. And this I bought off Infibeam. I believe that site is currently, has been like, I think it's not there. It's there. It doesn't exist anymore, that particular app. But they were giving some quite decent prices on different books like Hellboy and all that stuff. So I thought of buying Spider-Verse from that site. So luckily it got delivered, because after the stocks for that particular site or the app or that particular company was liquidated, I heard a lot of customer complaints that the products are not getting delivered in the due time. But luckily they delivered this one in time, and I'm happy for it. And it's one of my favorite books, actually. Spider-Verse, out and out, it's very, very enjoyable. I encourage everyone to read this. Yeah, next is X-Men, Astonishing X-Men by Josh Whedon and John Cassidy, volume 1, absolute version, volume 1 and 2. So these two I bought back in 2017, and this kind of tells the story about Jocasta, I think. I haven't read this. I haven't had the opportunity to read this because life. And also this kind of this particular X-Men run is kind of based on the old animated series that used to air in Fox Kids, I think, in the 90s. So those books I really, and I have never read Josh Whedon's writings and all that. He has written for Buffy and Faith and all the other tie-in comic books for Firefly, but I have never read any comic book written by. I've watched his films and all that, but I have never read any bibliography of Josh Whedon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. Next comes the Justice League New Frontier by Darwyn Cooke, the late Darwyn Cooke. So this was also an Infibeam purchase. It was they were giving it away for a very decent price, so I thought of getting it. And I haven't had the chance to read this, but I have heard it's pretty epic. It's basically the story about how the Justice League is formed in an alternate reality, which is kind of based on the main continuity of the Earth that DC follows, essentially. But I thought of since Darwyn Cooke I have wished to read for a lot of for a long time. So I thought of why not buy the, and it was because I saw this on Starmark, and they were giving it at a very steep price. Like even the price tag I see here, it's close to 2000 rupees, but here I got it for almost half the price. So yeah, pretty happy about that. This is DC Dark Days, The Road to Metal. So many of you have heard of the event, DC crossover event Metal, written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Greg Capullo. So I always wanted to read that particular event, but I didn't have any particular reading order to start that event, or to go about that event. So I thought of looking around for any book or any series that would lead up to that particular event, and this seems like a nice collection. It has a lot of different like tie-ins, even from the pre-New 52 era. A couple of the death and return of Bruce Wayne and all that stuff has been tied into this particular book. And I bought it during a sale in Amazon. So it was they were giving it away at a reasonable price. I won't say it was very cheap, but it was of a decent price. So I thought of why not buy it. Yeah. Next is Kingdom Come, illustrated by the great Alex Ross and written by Mark Waid. So this book, anyone knows, if I can show it around, is known for the aesthetics alone. Like, the artwork in this book is just marvelous, like unparalleled to any book that has come before or after. Like, it's just up there with maybe it belongs to a handful of those special books just for the aesthetic purpose alone. So yeah, proud to own this one. Is the legendary Mr. Miracle Run by the great Tom King, and this actually got him an Eisner Award. I think it's written there. It's written there in fine print, Eisner Award. So this one I have heard a lot of good things about. Like, my friends have recommended it time and again. So I haven't had the chance to read it because I bought it and then I shifted to Bangalore, and this were actually gathering dust in my bookshelf. So finally I have had the chance to read it since this quarantine started. Maybe I'll read it in the next month or so. Actually, I have a lot of things on my TBR list, so let's see when I can get to it. Next comes Jonathan Hickman's X-Men magnum opus, that is House of X and Power of X. So this book is basically about mutants kind of trying to rejuvenate their species in sentient mutant island called Krakoa. It all sounds very goofy, but I've heard that this is the most political X-Men book to have come out in a long time. So pretty pumped. Maybe I'll be starting this next week because I'm planning to read a couple of X-Men books by next week. X-Men. This one is a very special buy for me. Actually, this is the Wolverine book written by Chris Claremont and illustrated by Frank Miller, both legends in their own rights. But this actually I got at a very low price in Om bookstore in Chennai, Phoenix Mall. So if anyone is visiting that particular bookstore, do look for their so if anyone visiting Om bookstore in Phoenix Mall in Chennai city, do visit their comic book corner. It's great stuff they have. Like, their inventory is just wonderful. The next one that I would like to show, it's pretty special actually. This is the first comic book I bought with my own money. So back in 2013, I was doing a lot of tuitions. I used to give private tuitions on maths and science and other stuff to a lot of high school kids. So I had saved up quite a lot, like not that much by today's standard. Like, I saved around 2,000 bucks at the time. So I thought of buying something nice for myself. So on my birthday I placed an order in Flipkart and bought this one. It was around 350 or something it was, and this one is Flash Rebirth by Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver. I just love Van Sciver's art. It's like really awesome too, and it's not one of my favorite stories. Like, you need to know a lot of DC canon to fully appreciate what Jeff Johns has tried to do here, but eventually if you do, it pays off big time. But this one, it will always remain pretty close to my heart because this one was the first one to that I have bought. Next one is The Man Who Laughs by Ed Brubaker. Ed Brubaker you might know from his legendary run from Captain America Return of the Winter Soldier. So he was the one who first retconned Bucky's origin into Winter Soldier, and his run is basically the second Captain America movie is based on, like, all the espionage and all that stuff, spy the world security and all that, yada yada yada. So those things Ed Brubaker had brought into Marvel. So I have not read The Man Who Laughs, but I have heard it's pretty good. Next is V for Vendetta, or Vendetta, as you like, pronounce it as you please. Okay, so by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. I had loved the movie growing up, like not growing up even. I first saw the movie when I was in the freshman year in college. So from that point I really became obsessed with this masks. What are they called? Guy Faux something, like these masks were everything, and the story itself is so intriguing and it hits you hard. At least after watching the movie, I was like really shaken up for quite a few days. I have read this book actually, not in its entirety, half of it, and the rest of the book I am planning to finish. This one is Ravanan. This was one of the modern retelling of the Demon King Ravana, and how he was basically chosen to kidnap Sita, and that was part of his legacy. And those things have been re-explored, how his entire ideals and morals were kind of indoctrinated by Brahma. So those things have been explored in this book. This actually has a how I came to know about this book has a pretty interesting story. So I used to go to tuition in near Dum Dum cantonment. So on the platform there were several small bookstores. So one day one person was giving away books at very cheap prices. Like I bought this book for 10 rupees. So this but it turned out to be a pretty solid issue. So yeah, somewhere in the near future. So yeah, this is Ivar Time Walker, the volume 2, I think. Now many would ask me that why would I buy the volume 2 of a certain series, because to which I would like to answer that I am an idiot and I didn't know this was volume 2, because I read this book on Comixology as an entire trade paperback, and I didn't know it was segregated into volume 1, 2 and 3, and volume 2 was called Ivar Time Walker Breaking History or Ending History, it was called. So yeah, I thought of, and I really loved the stories, so I thought of buying it. And the artwork is really magnificent, and the story as well. Anyone who loves Doctor Who and classic sci-fi will love Ivar. Next comes Valiant from by the way, did I mention this is not from Marvel or DC? This is a entirely different publication called Valiant, and they were doing I think the new Bloodshot movie that didn't run that well, I think, but it got some traction that I've heard. I think they're making a sequel, but yeah, the Bloodshot, that character is from the Valiant canon. So this is also from Valiant. I wish they had made a movie or a TV series on Ivar instead of Bloodshot, because Bloodshot never really resonated with me as a character. So that's that. Next is the Valiant event by Jeff Lemire. So I love Jeff Lemire's work. I love Sweet Tooth. I love his run on Thanos. I love his run on Animal Man and all that. He's a brilliant writer. So what he did was he pulled a crossover event including all the Valiant characters, Ivar, Divinity, Ivar's brother, who's that Archer and Armstrong, and other and Bloodshot is the central character of this, and there were the myriad of other characters as well who come and go at different point in the story. So the Valiant, this event I really liked, so I thought of buying it and I bought it. I might revisit this because I actually have forgotten a lot of the plot points from this book. So yeah, maybe somewhere around the next month I'll reread this. Okay. Next is Green Lantern Rebirth by Jeff Johns and also illustrated by Ethan Van Schreiber. So this is essentially this I enjoyed more than Flash Rebirth, to be honest. It was a lot of fun, and it basically marks the return of the one Hal Jordan who died during Final Crisis, I think, and yeah, the story is pretty solid. The artwork is just like magnificent. So yeah, enjoyed a lot reading this. Next is Thanos Rising by Jason Aaron, and it's basically the story for Thanos when he was a kid and how he became this kind of he earned the moniker Mad Titan, and how he became such a conniving maniac or a intergalactic despot, and how the things that transpired in his childhood made him what he is today. So it was pretty. It has a very mixed review from people. Like some people hate it, some people love it. But I myself, I think I'm on the side of the people who love it mostly. So yeah, great. Okay, the next book I'm going to talk about is actually, this is a pretty funny story because this is Dark Knight's Metal, and I was just talking about reading the Prelude to Metal, I think, and for some reason I don't have any recollection of buying this book. I don't know how this came into my particular bookshelf, and I just found it there lying, gathering dust. And honest to goodness, I don't remember buying this book. Maybe I have to check my Amazon order list just to figure out when I ordered this book, but yeah, I have this now. Next is Death of the Family. This is from the New 52, the legendary run of Scott Snyder, and this is illustrated by Greg Capullo. This is essentially Joker coming back and tormenting each and every member of the Batman family, like Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Damian Wayne, all of them. Like he goes after each one of them, and how he comes to know about the Batman's identity, I think, which is spoiler of course. And this one is actually, I went in the reason I bought this because it was including all the tie-ins. So that was a pretty good deal that I was getting, because as far as I remember, when I read the story, I didn't enjoy it as much as I had hoped, but the tie-ins I really liked. So mostly because of the tie-ins, I bought this book. One I am rereading after, like, for the bazillionth time. So this is Watchmen by Alan Moore, the international edition. So this book, anyone who doesn't even know about comic books has heard about this book, because this is so grand in its scope, in its socio-political message. And I have even done podcasts with my friends, like deconstructing this entire book. So it's one of my favorite pieces of modern literature out there. So I encourage each and every one of you to read this one. This is kind of okay-ish follow-up to Watchmen. I mean, it's great. Like it's written by Jeff Johns, and it's illustrated by, I think, Gary Frank, the great Gary Frank, and the artwork is like superb, if you can see this. Okay, but it's nowhere close to the original book. I'll be brutally honest. It's the one charming thing, the one kind of thing that hits home with this one for a resident Bengali is that this book kind of ends with Rabindranath Tagore's quote. I said that. Let me just share it, show it. Yeah, every child comes with the message that God is not yet discouraging of man. Rabindranath Tagore. So this book particularly ends with a Tagore quote, which is kind of, you don't imagine Rabindranath and DC going hand in hand, but here we are. So yeah, it's pretty awesome when you think about it. But other than that, it's kind of okay. Like, I appreciate the effort, I appreciate the passion behind this book, but yeah, not that impressed with this one, Geoff. Okay, the final DC book that I have, no, not final, I have a lot of other DC books. So you guys have seen I'm sorry, The Dark Knight Rises, right? So that was based on a story by Chuck Dixon called Nightfall. So this was basically the first appearance of Bane, and how he came and took over the control of Gotham City, and how he broke Batman's back, spoiler, and also how there was a substitute Batman after Batman went into went into recuperation. So yeah, so these are the huge, humongous Nightfall volumes. As you can see, there are 3 volumes: Nightfall, Night's End, and Night Quest. Maybe I'm stating the chronological order incorrectly. So these are the paperbacks that I own for this. Okay, now to some other publishers. I have always been a huge fan of Hellboy. I love the Guillermo del Toro movies, and I have been obsessed with all things Hellboy ever since I was a teenager. Like, I loved the Hellboy books. Like, I read them as in the digital format when I was a teen, but owning the paperbacks, or essentially the omnibuses, is essentially a dream come true. Some people might argue that the library editions are better, but I beg to differ. So this is Omnibus Volume 1, Seed of Destruction. This is 2, Strange Places. This is 3, Conqueror. The Wild Hunt. This is the Wild Hunt, and final Volume 4, Hellboy in Hell. Yeah, this one. Also, speaking of Hellboys, they also have a lot of spin-off stuff. So this is about BPRD. Those of you who are familiar with Hellboy, they know that BPRD stands for Bureau of Paranormal Research and Development. And here, basically, Hellboy, Abe Sapien, also a character called Lobster Johnson, they basically thwart the supernatural beings back into their original place, like from where they come, come from. So yeah, so this is Volume 1, Plague of Frogs, Volume 2 of Plague of Frogs, Volume 3 of Plague of Frogs, and Volume 4 of Plague of Frogs. So these are all the hardcovers and TPBs I own. Now to some heavy stuff. To a couple of the omnibuses that I own. This is Darkseid War, also New 52. Like, this is post Rebirth, I think. I don't know. So this one was a very like, I bought it for a very decent price. It was not too steep, and I really love the artwork of Jason Fabok, so that's always a good sign for any book that I will buy. Okay, next is Planetary Omnibus by Warren Ellis, written by Warren Ellis and illustrated by John Cassidy. So this is basically it's under DC's Vertigo imprint, I think, and this is kind of like an interdimensional detective agency going at different points in time and different parallel universes and investigating some kind of like evil alliance or something. I don't know, like I have not read it, but it was also a very like they were giving it away at a very decent and reasonable price, so I thought of buying it. This is Infinite Crisis by Jeff Johns, and the writer Gail Simone is writing as well. Phil Jimenez is illustrating, and Ivan Rice as well. So this is the new Infinite Crisis omnibus. It's kind of the new print that DC had put out this year, I think. So, and also this was a very reasonable purchase. As much as my mother would disagree, this is a reasonable purchase, because they were giving it away at around 3.5k, so I thought, why not buy it. The next is Final Crisis. I also have the Essential Edition, and just to appease my desire to buy every omnibus out there, I bought this one. Final Crisis. It cost me an arm and a leg. I would say that it was pretty expensive, so I had to I went for an EMI. Let's not get into that. So this is one of my prized possessions, and I cherish it very much. So these are all the comic books that I have. There are also a couple of books that I currently have down in the bottommost shelf on my bookshelf, so I'll lay them out. And also, oh yeah, I've almost forgot about this. So this is one of my latest purchases. This is the entire Asterix collection, all 38 issues by Uderzo and Goscinny. So all it comprises of all 38 books, including the latest one, The Chieftain's Daughter. And I had always read Asterix in Bengali, so I have never had the actual, not the actual, because originally Asterix is written in Italian, I think, or French. So, but I never had the opportunity to read the English transcription, so I thought of, why not buy the entire box set and start from the beginning. And it's pretty enjoyable. I've read a couple of the early ones, and they're good. They hit you a bit differently, like the cheeky tongue-in-cheek Bengali humor has its own place, and this English transcription has its own, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. Now to a couple of books that I own, which are currently not in my Kolkata household. They're in Bangalore in my rented apartment. So the books that I have over there are Blackest Night Omnibus, Invincible Compendium 1 and 2, Infinity by Jonathan Hickman, and Multiversity by Grant Morrison. So all this I'm planning to bring back if I ever settle here. If I ever get a job here in Kolkata, I might bring back those books. Not might, I will have to bring back those books, but for now they are just over there collecting dust. So let me just give you guys an overall shot of how many comic books I own, because there are a few more issues of like Gotham imprints that I have over there. So just give me a minute and I'll